This is my grandson Soham. He's reading the substance of a novel. Good luck, Soham.
Book review of It. The novel It by Stephen King is the most famous horror novel. It was also interpreted into two movies. Most of his work is in the horror genre and terrifies in many different ways. It was published in 1985 and is a whopping 1,376 pages. Stephen King is an American living in Bangor, Maine, with his wife, Tabitha King, who is also a novelist. He is the author of over 50 bestsellers, with It being perhaps his greatest work ever. The novel's purpose is to detail childhood trauma and chronicle its lasting effects on the young and fragile minds of children going into adulthood. The, the theme is friendship and how powerful tight bonds, united by love, can be. Stephen King uses it as a beacon of hate and destruction. The main character, Bill Denbrough, is its opposite hope and love. He wrote two parts to the book, one where the seven protagonists are 11-year-old kids, and another where they are 38, 27 years later, which was also during its next reawakening. The two parts were scattered throughout the book and were seamlessly blended together. The effects of trauma as people transition from childhood to adulthood and begin to understand their newfound maturity are shown in a unique way by it. Each of the children had to go through their own form of struggle and trauma. The two most obvious examples are Beverly and Ben's. Be- Beverly's father was an abusive man who would often utter the words, "Sometimes I worry a lot about you, Bevy," before beating her. Ben had to struggle with bullying because of his morbid obesity. One of his bullies, Henry, carved his initial into Ben's stomach, an event that would appear in his nightmares. Stephen King was successful when writing this story and seemed to achieve what he wanted for these reasons. The effects of the children's experiences on their minds and bodies seem to jump out of the words and materialize in your perspective, making the book stand out. It successfully represents the seed for trauma, how it can seem to vanish and without any warning resurface to haunt again. The well written protagonist's crusade to destroy it was full of action and emotion. I would highly recommend reading this novel because of how it can induce you to think and feel. Stephen King does not use only monsters and ghosts to create fear, but more horrifying and taboo elements, like domestic abuse, abandonment, and bullying taken too far. The characters are likable and help the story flow well. The story's continuity and smooth transitions, with roller coasters of action and emotion, add personality to the novel. While reading the book, you are a puppet thinking and feeling what Stephen King wants you to, and that adds more reason to admire the expertise of the craftsman who wrote this book. Its multitudes of facets, each shining in their own way, make it the ultimate quintessential horror novel. Thank you.
Thank you very